Bop. Yeah, we'll do that. Interesting that my stream notif role needs to be rewritten before I can put it through, but whatever. Hello! Guess who didn't die in the woods last week? Because it didn't happen. Apparently, the reason I had heard absolutely no news about going out into the camping is because it's actually next month, not this month. Silly me, silly me. I do be bad with dates. I'm definitely gonna have to like prepare my sleep schedule a week in advance to make sure that I'm not, you know, sleeping during the day as we go camping. But it's only gonna be for a few days, so we'll see how that goes, but it's gonna have to wait a month. So we're back with the Artfight drawings. Very busy last week. I keep having things to do. I guess go figure, it's summer. There's silly events going on. We went to another food thing. So that was kind of hype. But yeah, so we're just continuing with this drawing. I think, yeah, last stream I finished the very cool Cuppo animation. This beautiful thing. Quite pleased about. Mostly the colors is what I really like. Anyway, that one was finished, so now we get to do this. I have lined and filled pretty much everything here. The only thing that was skipped is some of the parts of the figure that are shared between frames. So, you know, I'll copy them over once I've colored them. And I want to color them before I do the, like, kind of wavy flowers and things. Right now they're just little things like that. I probably will do some variation. I lowered the frame rate again. So I think there's like 3 frames. Yeah, there's just 3 frames in these for like a little jittering motion. Might do 4 or 5 with that, but I'm gonna wait until we've colored it because I imagine I'm just gonna use a brush. And when I've layered a bunch of like leaf shapes and flower petals and things on top of each other, it's gonna be hard to change the color because I'm probably just gonna do it on one layer. So yeah, we'll do the coloring for everything else first. I have like 0 ideas for what colors I want to do. I know I want to do a warm palette. I'm pretty sure we're down here. You could like maybe see the peakings of like a sunrise, but the sky might just be like blue. In fact, I almost wonder if I have a brush that's like I probably have a cloud brush in here that's like clouds from the side, but I wonder if there's something we could do to make it look like we're looking at the bottom of the cloud. Let's see. I suppose I should just make a little color palette, a little color thumbnail, because I have 0 idea what I want to do for this. We're gonna be rocking the lo-fi Stardew music today. And I guess when this is done, I should probably work on shades next. Because that animation, that piece is animated, but it's pretty simple. What I should really be doing is picking up the pace with my Artfight attacks. We're like a week away from the end of Artfight, and I'm like, I've done like 3. Or wait, 3, 4, 4 pieces at this point. But, you know, like I always say, it's not about the number of pieces you make or the amount of points you get. It's about having fun. It's about making art you like for your friends and strangers. brightening up their day. Let's do maybe like, maybe it gets a little bit darker on the ground for some reason. I guess maybe there's like sunlight coming up here. Let's do that, and then an actual greenish hue, perhaps. And I just ate, so you get to hear me clearing my throat for the next hour. My condolences. And then this character is yellow. What color would the shadows be on a yellow cloak during midday? I guess if there's clouds, maybe like a little bit bluish. And maybe we'll demonstrate that there are some clouds happening. Let's see. Yellow. Yeah, I guess that works. And then how would we get a blue shadow? It'd probably turn, yeah, that color. Something like that. Leave that to the side if I want to use it again. Get a little white and boop. And then the dog is black with red star. I think I was gonna make him like starry looking inside as well. That about? Oh, interesting. Yellow gradient. Maybe just like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then what color should I do the flowers? Maybe I should do something that contrasts the figure primarily in the cloak, because they're not gonna stand out very much from the sky. In fact, maybe I should flip this. Would that be more clear? Yeah, maybe that would actually. But then that kind of makes it feel like it is sunrise, so there'd be some pretty dramatic shadows. What do shadows at sunrise look like? They're colored, aren't they? Well, let's look it up. Images. Yes, quite. I like pretty blue here, but then the lighting is very orange. That's the bigger thing. Well, this is a pretty reference for this guy. I don't know why it's so pixelated. One of these two, I guess. But the lighting is so dramatic at sunrise. It's kind of what I don't want. But maybe that would look good. Like, I need to make this darker for sure. And then I need to specifically make the sky like a sunrise color. Yeah, I was really envisioning this piece at midday. I'll probably keep trying to do that. But maybe I will make the sky lighter so that they stand out a little more. Okay. Oh yeah, and then the flowers. I think we should just do purple and pinkish colors. In fact, blue is right across. We could do some of that. Maybe some pinks in there. Cool. And the trees, I might make the trees green. They'll fit in a little better with the sky. Okay. Time to color the fun part. I'm not too convinced about this yellow color for the cloak, but maybe orangey is better. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, but so we did another food type event this weekend. Oh, I guess we went yesterday. I think. I'm not gonna lie, the day the day was confusing for me. Because I swear to God, when I woke up, because like I went to bed at 1, I think, a.m. And perhaps because I had stayed up for over 24 hours the day before, when I woke up, it was like 6, I think. And my sister was texting me and she was like, we're gonna leave at 6:45, okay? And we're gonna go to like a night market. And I was like, okay. But then I was confused why she woke me up. I was like it was still light out. And it was like 6 o'clock. I was like, why'd you wake me up at 6 a.m. if we're going to this thing at the night market? And she was like, girl, it's 6 p.m. In fact, I slept for like what, like 7, no. Went to bed at 1, woke up at 6 p.m. So 17 hours? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's on me. I don't know. I don't know. That was my bad. Many such cases. I'm sure it happens to everyone, where you sleep for 17 hours unprompted. So that was a little silly, but then we went to the night market. And it was leagues better than the one we went to earlier in the summer. I don't know what the hell the difference was. Because first of all, everything here was just cheaper. We got more food for how much we bought. Because the place that we went to previously, like, they had these, what would you say? They had these, like, little mini orders. I feel like I described this last time, where you would pay $6 and you would get, like, a mini portion, like a taster portion. But then, like I had shown, a taster portion of the ice cream was, like, served in a sauce container. Which, I would call that a portion for a mouse and not a taster portion. I don't understand why they decided that was how big they would allow them to make the food. Also, what wine? Is that this one? No. Is it this one? Oh, it is this one. So it was super tiny portions for $6, which is still kind of a lot. We spent so much at the last one. I guess because maybe we tried a bunch of the taster portions and it still just added up to a lot, or when we like bought a proper amount of food, it was like $25 or something for a sandwich. So that sucked. And then yeah, this place was better size. It tasted better. Like I think we bought three things, like three food items. Uh, yeah, and like they were good sized portions of food, and they tasted really good. So I don't know, man. It was just a much better experience, I think. Um, okay. Let me toss some color onto the background. I am kind of liking this weird splotchiness that's happening back there. We'll do. Let's make the sky properly first. Could just do some random bullshit. I would kind of like to try to do some proper clouds. Maybe let me do this. Do I have a blender in here? Oh, that's pretty. Scale this up. Do a subtle bit of light from the bottom. And then I'll do. How would we do some proper clouds? Let's see. This is interesting. I guess there are clouds that are like really scattered like that. I feel like I'd have to look at a reference for that though. Like they get really scattered on the tips of the clouds or something. Hmm. It's a nice cloud. Oh, that's nice. I like that quite a bit. Should probably put some darker shades in here. Oh, and I started, well, because I think last week I watched all of Witch Hat Atelier. Atelier. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's probably just Atelier, but because I'm not confident, I'm just gonna call it Witch Hat, and we're gonna be content with that because I don't like mispronouncing things. Anyway, I watched all the anime last week. It was really good. I can understand why everyone on Tumblr was talking about it. That is like my primary way to consume media, or my primary way to get recommended media is if there's a bunch of GIFs on Tumblr, I gotta check it out. So, and you know what? Sometimes they are wise on Tumblr. It was really good, animation wise, story wise. I love a good magical story. So I watched it and then I decided, you know what? Maybe now is the time that I will begin to read manga. I never ever read it. For whatever reason. It didn't really intrigue me. Partly because, the hassle of getting physical media is a little more difficult than digital in today's day and age. But there's websites for it. Think you read it. Ahem. So, yeah, I started reading it. It's really good. I had to kind of breeze through it a little because they've pretty faithfully recreated the anime from the manga, from what I can tell. But I've finally gotten up to the point where, now we're past the contents that they've covered in season 1. So it's new content time. And dude, it's so good looking. I really love like, not just the line work quality of the comics, like, or the manga, because like due to the subject of Witch Hat, it's like kind of medieval period, I guess. Is it medieval, or I guess medieval period with like witches and things. So they've got this like really nice scroll work on a lot of the pages. And then the line quality. Oh, it's like they might actually be drawing with an ink pen and then, scanning it in and cleaning it up digitally. But like for it to just be drawn and like so clearly drawn like it's using a pen is like very fitting for, the contents of the manga. Like they do this kind of, how would you describe it? Like mm-mm-mm, drawing your shape and then for the shading, I don't think I actually remember. I think is it etching? Mm, I've failed my art classes where I've forgotten what this kind of shading is called, but where you use lines and stuff to imply the shaded parts of an object as opposed to actually using like another color or just straight black or whatever. They do a lot of that, which is very gorgeous to look at. The line art quality is just chef's kiss all throughout the manga. And then they have a bunch of parts that I really appreciate where they're laying out the pages in a really unique way. I feel like it's kind of a pet peeve of mine when comics get laid out in kind of like the most typical straightforward fashion. Like sometimes it serves a point. Sometimes you don't gotta overcomplicate it. I get that, but I really appreciate when there's like a unique uh composition that they do, to lay out the panels and stuff. And there's a lot of that in this manga. It's a real treat to look at. So I'm quite enjoying it. Cloud. Me personally, I think I excel a little more when I have a bunch of colors that I can rely on to, imply the shape of a form. I love a bunch of random colors in my pieces. I think that's pretty decent. Could probably keep, tossing my brush around the canvas for another 20 minutes, then it would likely look very similar to what's happening right now, so I think that's fine. Okay, there's our lovely sky. I kind of want to lighten the ground up just a little. In fact, I almost want there to be like a halo around at least the skeleton because they're not going to move. Just like a little subtle glow to push them out from the background. Okay. Yeah, and then this should be kind of simple-ish, hopefully. Here's hoping I can finish this piece pretty quick. It's taking me a damn long while to work on some of these Artfight pieces. Oh, right, I switched to like a more orangey color. Hold on. That's not bad. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. Let's see. No, don't grab that. Careful now. That's one thing that it is. I mean, I'm sure this is the case for pretty much every program, but it is sometimes way too easy to grab a random panel and drag it somewhere, and then you have no idea how to put it back exactly where it was. Luckily, I have long since figured out where the button to reset panel placement is. And, also luckily, it's not like I'm really changing the layout from the default, so not the end of the world, but still pretty annoying. Yeah, we'll just have to figure out how to make these two come together. I could also erase a bit of the animated portion, or like the portion that gets carried over into this frame. It's just since this is gonna move, the shadow will probably move. So I don't know. I need to leave room for that to be animated. I don't know. Well, we'll see how that goes, I guess. Oh man, and I keep getting more and more convinced that I should play Rain World. But I can't forget the struggle that I endured. It's just some people, like, it seems like it's the most fun for some people to just go exploring. But I was so reliant on the map, I don't know. But I wonder if you could get that into an archipelago. My friends are just talking about wanting to do one. Although, we were also talking about how we should probably do a quick one, because it's so hard to coordinate our times. I don't think I'd be able to do Rain World very fast. Now, Minecraft Bingo, that I could do very quickly. Actually, that reminds me, I feel like there was a bingo thing someone told me about, and I've forgotten about it. I do love me a bingo, is all. Something just, it's like infinitely playable. Good fun, that bingo. Yeah, at some point I'll definitely be playing it on stream, I think. Actually, another thing I kind of want to do is, I don't know if, I've probably not mentioned it, but there's a mod pack that oh no, I must have mentioned it. Yeah, I'm like losing all of my time to this mod pack called Sunlit Valley, which is like Stardew Valley, but in Minecraft. And they just replicate pretty much as much of the gameplay of Stardew Valley as they can into Minecraft. It's really, really fun. Very addicting. And I've probably mentioned, but the thing I like the most about it is you're basically given the freedom, or like more freedom than you do have in Stardew Valley, to kind of customize the placement of farms and, your barns and buildings and things, while also getting, some of the enjoyment of the gameplay of getting to collect various crops, and you get like a daily gameplay loop of farming and stuff like that. Plus, they add a Slime Rancher mod, which I don't think I was aware existed. But just another game that I love the repetitive gameplay loop of. So, been losing a lot of time to that, and recently, I'm kind of in the end phase of my playthrough. Because I've done the bundles, collected all the fish. Um, what else? There's like gems you can collect, which it's kind of just you get that in a matter of time, uh, due to just breaking open geodes, and then you find some random variants of them. Get in like artifacts, probably short on, but that I could probably just intentionally farm and collect, and then I'd get them. TLDR, I am pretty much done with collecting things. So the only stuff left for perfection is like buying the golden clock money sink. So I'm just kind of gradually accruing money. And so now I'm working on a very cool museum build. Because I'm honestly kind of sad or surprised that there isn't a build in Sunlit Valley. Because they give you like kind of preset builds for villagers. Actually, I guess that's the other thing I haven't done, is that you can befriend the villagers, but I've seen zero reason to do so, and so I have not. So I've been a pretty terrible neighbor for the 3 years or whatever that my playthrough has taken. But, that aside, they give you preset buildings, but there isn't one for a museum, which is kind of a surprise. It's like such a big thing from Stardew. I guess, you have collectibles. You can get trophies from collecting everything, but It's just like an item. And you don't have to submit them anywhere. You just, you have a quest book that automatically registers when you've gotten them all. And so I thought it would be really cool to have a museum. And so I'm building that right now. Okay, I want it to be more obvious that there's light coming from the front. We need more of a shadow. Like that, maybe? I guess it's because of this very bright yellow stripe here. My lovely little fabric fold shouldn't be this color. I think my pen is dying, but I kind of can't tell because everything here is just like really blurry. It's making me crazy. No. Anyway, so I'm building a museum right now in my world. And, it's going to display some of the typical museum things. Gems, artifacts, and relics. They have a fossil mod. I think it's archaeology. It's not the dinosaur one that I'm more familiar with. It's the one that they added after like Mojang's official archaeology mod. Where you can brush things. So there's that mod, which for some reason that isn't included in like Sunlit Valley's official collection system. I would assume maybe it's like too RNG based, or maybe some of the fossils come from structures that are just like really rare to spawn. I don't know. Whatever the case, that's not a part of it, but I am going to be putting it in my museum. And what else? Oh, I'm gonna have a butterfly hutch, because you can collect like 30 different moths and butterflies. That's actually one other thing I haven't started yet, just because I assume that's just gonna be a matter of like going to various biomes and finding the butterfly and scooping them up. So that won't be very hard, and that should be pretty fun compared to the kind of monotonous gameplay loop that I've been doing to get money and things. And then the last part that I'm building right now is a painting gallery, which has been very fun. I've very much enjoyed thinking about like how a real art gallery would like display its paintings and leave walking room, and pretty much all of my buildings that I do that have some reference to like a real life structure have like considerations for stair placement and then also elevators. I mean, I'm not following any OSHA guidelines, but like, there's at least always elevators in my structures, and this mod pack has create, so we get to have functioning elevators. Actually, that reminds me, another thing that Crate adds that I've never messed with, but it looks really fun, is trains. I love the aesthetic of a good train. It's just so like book-worthy, perfect mode of travel for an adventure. But I don't have a need for trains in any of my worlds. If I need to go somewhere, I teleport. Or I electrify. So not really that hard. Also, I feel like I should do another shade of blue on here. Let's just try this straight up blue, why don't we? Blue! Oh, that's very blue. Maybe I should just pull it from here. Go like a little purpley. Yeah, my pen is definitely starting to die. Come on, man. It's the first hour of the stream. You can't be dying on me this early. Yeah, so I'm on the painting gallery right now. I kind of want to do a stream of doing Sunlit Valley. The only problem is it definitely wouldn't be a proper series, because, like, pretty much all the work that I've done, that's kind of the fun part of Sunlit, of collecting all the new things, You know, the slimes, and like I've built a bunch of like animal enclosures for not just regular animals, but also my slimes, and got them kind of automated. Like all of that is done already. So you guys would kind of just be dropped into what I've created so far. And the main thing I gotta work on is collecting the materials for building the museum. Because my go-to method for a big Minecraft build is, I mean, even a small Minecraft build is, I like to plan things well in advance. So I'm building it all in creative first, and then they have a couple different schematic mods. Might just use creates because I'm more familiar with it, but we'll have to see what's the most like, I don't know, the easiest to use, I guess, since I'm like part of the museum is above ground and part is underground, and I'm a little worried how it's gonna handle like, oh, you need 40,000 blocks of stone because it's underground, and like my capture of the schematic of the underground area is obviously going to include some of the walls of stone. So I don't know. We'll have to see how that works. Regardless, that's the big thing that I'm going to be working on next, and I don't know. It could be a fun stream activity, if only because it's a thing that is occupying a lot of my time right now. So wouldn't mind doing it live. 1, 2. I think this is the third. Okay, so I'm almost inclined. Now, it's going to be a little tricky to color match this, but well, I could blend. Maybe I should try just blending this down. I might make it like a little less obvious where the line is. I mean, you'll probably be able to tell still, but hold on. Blend away some of that. Oh, not to mention, I haven't really, yeah, make this dark up here. Also, I feel like you can tell that I'm very eager to move on from just drawing every stream, based on how often I keep talking about new stream ideas. I crave variety, but I do need to work on Artfight. It is a good motivator to, you know, have a dedicated time to work on things. Alright, we'll just blend this out and see how that works. Okay, hopefully I didn't go too far over the edge. I really would not be able to tell. So this will all be very dark. I guess we'll paint that first. And then at least some of this will be dark on the bottom. This is going to be a little tricky to mimic across each frame. I guess we'll do them one by one. And one more. And then the grayish color. This will be the darkest, I guess. I don't know. There'll be a bit of darkness here. But then I guess I'll do like a... how should we do this? Maybe it gets up to here. So it's still to the bottom of the hoodie. And this gets up to here. And then we'll exclusively use the dark tone underneath. Yeah, I think I probably should blend all of them. Well, let's start with this guy, see if it looks right. Oh yeah, it already looks pretty good. Okay, let's do a shaded bit under here. Maybe a bit to shade here. Interesting. And then a little bit of shade there. Okay. That looks pretty nice, I think. Yeah, okay, we'll do a little blend. Blend, blend, blend. And then there. Ugh, come on, pen. Wonder if there's a keybind to flip between frames. That'd be nice. If only I weren't so lazy. I could Google it. But alas. I mean, they look different, but like the line art also looks a little different, so I don't think that can be helped. Mostly it looks intentional-ish. Yeah, okay. I think it looks alright. And then the third frame. I guess this will be a lot more subtle. Blendy blend. And a little bit under here. I think there's a little more yellow in here. Interesting. Okay. That should be pretty decent, I think. Maybe like a little more shadow under here. If my pen would stop dying. Girl, please. This should not be the challenging part of drawing. Fighting against your tools. Alright. Oh, yes, yes, the hand. Skeletal hand, we cannot forget. I guess I'll use this grayish color. I don't want to do a lot of work on this because this is a complicated, what would you call it? Element of the drawing that I don't want to have to replicate on every frame. I do kind of want there to be a little bit of a glow, or like, I don't know. Maybe it won't matter very much. Because as I said, it is just, it's a complicated series of lines. Some vague shadowing here and there is probably all it needs. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, and then I might leave the flowers until I've rendered these. I'm pretty sure those are the colors I'm going to use, but just in case. Okay, and then copy some various things. That's this one. Oh, right. I forget that copying on animations is one of life's greatest pains. But I think that's how you do it. Now instead of 3, it should be 3 and... No? Wait. Oh, wait, I did that wrong. I guess just merge them. Yeah. I think that's right. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I just didn't want there to be any, like, overflow from layering two transparent things on top of each other, but I guess it's more of a concern only with the line art. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, you're used here. Alright, goodbye 3. And then, which was the other one? 2 is shared with 1. Just gonna copy them, I guess. I should have grabbed this first. Hold on. 1. Get out of my face. I feel like I did that wrong. 2. No, wait, that's right, I think. 2N. And then you and you. There we go. I think that's right. Maybe. Let's take a little look. Yeah, there we go. Wow, these frames really aren't that different. You like kind of barely notice. That's all right. I love having OBS open. I can look at the animation from a different, tinier perspective. I have 3 views. I guess 4 views if you count this, and then also the one on my stream deck. Whee. I like the sliding dog, or sliding animation the dog does. It's sort of cute. Hopefully you can tell his face apart. Oh, that might be tricky. I didn't think about that. It's kind of a benefit that this one's coloring is so simple. But that does mean... Oh, no, wait. I think actually it's fine. They just made... Yeah, the line art is just going to be white. That's fine. Okay. Let's do the dog next. Should also be simple. Hopefully. There's a gradient in it, so I guess that might be kind of tricky. Ooh, how should we do this? I guess the arm would be blocking. Or would you say the whole body is transparent? Maybe the whole body is transparent. We'll just paint it the same, no matter what. I guess I'll draw it every frame. Maybe. Probably. If only because copying and pasting inside of this many layers is going to be a pain. But I'd love to not have to do that. Hold on. We grab the yellow. And we'll make it like, I don't know, that big maybe. Like, as long as it started at the same size, I feel like I could blend it by hand every time and it would give it like a little bit of a natural variation. Reverse egg. No, wait, I guess that's kind of like an egg. The yolk is sort of the redder orangey color. Okay, so if we copied that, went in here, and did that, can we merge these? And then, where were we? This is layer 6? Oh, wrong one. Oh, I see. There. No, it didn't work. Shit. Why don't you do what I want you to do, Clip Studio Paint? So I'd have to bring every frame outside first. I might just bother doing that. Oh, that's such a good song. All the Stardew Fall songs are just so, like, nostalgic. They're, like, sad, but they're good. It's kind of like they just really perfectly encapsulate the vibe of fall, I guess. Okay. We're gonna be 1 copy, I think, and 1 A copy. Yeah. I will remove those for now. I guess you wouldn't see it on these 2 frames, yeah? Yeah, they're too low down. Alright, just these 2 then. Oh wait, these 3. Yeah, it's weird. I, like, looked at my Steam... What is it? I don't know, Steam page to see what games I've played a lot of. And for some reason, it's confusing to me that I've played almost the most hours of Stardew Valley. Also, whoops, I missed a couple pixels here. Because I don't really remember playing it that much. Like, for some games, like Slime Rancher. Slime Rancher is one of the games I've played a stupid amount of. I think I might have played... Like, somehow I've played the most, I think, of Stardew. Like, at 500 or 600 hours. But, you know, with Slime Rancher, like, I remember playing so much Slime Rancher. I'm not surprised I've played that much. But, I don't know. For some reason, like, it's just... Stardew Valley is not that ingrained in my brain. Also, I'm trying to think of how this will move across as the dog moves, because they started here. Like, wouldn't it raise a little bit? So, like, there, maybe. What's happening in this frame? Their shoulders move up. So This should also move up, I think. Yeah, okay. I think that's roughly what we want. Alright, down you go. Yeah, so I'm like not surprised that I've played so much Slime Rancher. Much of my brain is full of Slime Rancher. um, but with Stardew, I don't know, I just like don't remember that much of it. But I think a lot of the hours that I banked into that game were primarily due to a modded save that I had. 30. Oh, there we go. I was like, why can't I see it? Yeah, so I had like a heavily modded Stardew Valley playthrough or save file. And I guess that's where I banked all my hours. It had many mods, like a bunch of texture packs. And I guess there just must have been so many like objectives to complete that's what I spent all my time doing. But with a thing like Slime Rancher, like the gameplay loop became so ingrained in my mind because I did it over and over for that many hours. But with Stardew, like I barely remember what I was doing in that game. So maybe it was just there was so much different stuff that that's why like nothing really got ingrained. But it's just kind of weird to think that there's like 500 hours of my life that I don't really remember. Very peculiar. Okay, I think that lined up pretty well. Yeah, okay, cool. Blend time. Kind of want to do my watercolor brush just because I feel like that'll have more variation in it if we do it this way. Well, these are some very different colors that I need to blend. It's so egg yolk coated. Oh, I love me a good egg. I don't know about y'all. You gotta be the #1 food type for me. Just so many forms of the egg. Okay. I think that's pretty nice. Must want to give it more of like a stylized kind of swirl to it. Almost like a galaxy. That's not quite what the reference looks like, but they're very space coded, I think. The way that this rendering, is working for the dog. Mostly because there's like a star in the center of this thing, and they're all kind of dark colored, so I don't know. Might do a little artistic interpretation. I probably shouldn't because it's not my OC, but I don't know. I just think it would look cool. Of course, I'm now making this harder for me as I do every one of these frames, but whatever. Come on. Keep working, pen. Your job is not done here. I guess I could change the brush sensitivity of the pen to make it less of a pain, but feels like giving up. Just want to force it to work. Oh yeah, but back to the Sunlit Valley. At some point, maybe I will maybe do a stream of going through it, because that museum is definitely going to be the next big hurdle I have to tackle. And I probably don't want to do a stream of me still working out the building design. I tend to, when I'm building, I mean, sort of like when I do art, but yeah, I mean, on a stream I kind of have to focus and like lock in. But with building, I tend to, pluck away at it a little bit, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good single block that I placed. Now time for a break. So that might just be the inability to focus in me. But I don't think that would make for the greatest stream content. Also, wow, that got really freaking big. I mean, should we just make it that different? Shit, I don't know. Let's just do it. Let's just ball. We'll see how it goes. We'll let the drawing do its thing. I did say I wanted some random variation in this, so oh my god, I didn't lock the layer. Not bad. So it could be kind of nice just to do the building on stream. Although I guess, I was about to say like I could place the blocks on stream, but I think all of the schematic mods that I have, it's like you get the materials first and then you snap your fingers and it's built. So actually that would not work. So then the stream would be block collection instead. Which I mean I would enjoy. The way that Sunlit Valley works is you can buy schematics for builds, but the materials you need to get to buy those schematics is like a stack of stone bricks and a stack of logs and then like some money, and that's basically it. So it's not actually like block collection as you would for a regular Minecraft build. So I think it would be kind of a nice change of pace to collect a bunch of materials. Don't know if that would make for a very entertaining stream. But maybe if I could get it all done in one stream, then, we'd get the enjoyment of seeing the build actually get built. That could be nice. I might have to see just how long it would take me to get everything. Maybe. I do have I have a beacon and I have there's like a banner you can get in the game that lets you, it basically just gives you haste 2 in a very small radius, like smaller than a beacon would provide, but, easier to move around than a beacon. So, yeah, maybe we'll do that. I kind of just want to do it because I want to show off the museum. It looks very cool. That could be a 2-stream thing. Because, well, hell, it could be a multi-stream. Depends on how long it takes. But besides just the collection of materials... Also, I think we should just make this bigger to match the others. Besides just the collection of materials, the other thing that needs to happen is once the museum gets built, I haven't actually put anything in the museums yet. Like, I've only basically planned it out so that, there's like a room for the gems, there's a room for the fossils, there's a room for yada, yada, yada. So the actual placement of things is not yet done. And then the actual collection of some things, like I haven't gotten any of the moths. I have not gotten the fossils. That kind of fun exploration, that could be more enjoyable for a stream. And it's something I haven't done yet, so maybe we'll do that. Although, okay, wait, if I commit to that, then that means I can't make progress on this until July is over. Oh. I don't know if I can keep myself from playing Sunlit for that long. Well, actually, you know what? Yeah, maybe I could. There's still like this is kind of the big long-term goal that I'm working towards, but there is just like a daily gameplay loop of maintain the wine kegs and put things in the preserves jars. Also, how are they still so big? Shit. These two look identical. This one is so different. Also, I kind of want to make this. The orange is like going everywhere. I want to be more yellow. So yeah, maybe that will be the plan. I'll have to like write a note though, so that I don't get distracted by doing other things on stream. But I mean, I think we've only got one more week of July. Which again, little sad that I haven't done quite that many drawings, but I mean, it's alright. I think in one art fight I only did like one drawing. And I would be more concerned if people had attacked me a bunch and I had a bunch of revenges to get caught up on, but I don't think anyone's really attacked me besides a couple of my friends, so I'm all good in that department. I think. I haven't checked it that recently. I should probably check it. I'm sure it's fine though. Do they? No, yeah, they gotta move there. Yeah, how did this get so much bigger on the other two? Like, they all started at the same place. Okay, and now it's a little too low. Okay, bit better. That is pretty cool looking. My only concern with this is, like, there is this kind of natural jitter, I guess, that's happening, but I think a jitter animation looks the most correct when the jittering is happening, like, in a uniform way, or rather with a uniform timing. And all these frames are going to look different, like, in all the ones that I'm drawing. And these are not evenly spaced apart, so it might look a little strange. But you know what? I definitely cannot be bothered to space these out so that they're, like, jittering at the right frame rate, because I've already worked to make sure the animation, like the main frames, are spaced correctly apart. So we're just all gonna have to learn to be okay with it. Okay, I think that's decent. I mean, these frames are okay. Wait, these stripes are really big. Remember when I said that I think the dog should be easy and quick to do? That was funny. Okay. Next. The glow. Make these a little smaller. I guess I should start by actually just brushing it out. Come on, I'm literally drawing. My pen is actually just a paid actor here to make the stream more interesting when I crash out against it. Is that right? Yeah, that's alright. Now, how much should I make this influence the face of the dog? I guess nothing at all, because my pen won't frickin' register up there. Jeez. The eternal struggle. I guess maybe not much. I kind of wanted to show a little bit. Just a subtle glow. Especially because I did make this just showing through the limbs. So that does imply that, like, the whole thing is transparent, but eh. It does help the face to stick out a little bit if I make it its own color. Okay, I think a little more dark coloring in here. Kind of lopsided. How did that happen? Love when you can hear the second that the looping rain sound effect loops in the music. Okay, how's that? I think that's good enough. Token saying of the stream. And then I guess for the nose, probably the nose, the eyes, and then the liner, and I'm just going to do the same color of white. Ugh, now it would make a lot of sense for me to just duplicate the same swirly effect that I did on the previous frame onto here. But, a little, well, it's not really too late for that now. I guess I could, but we're just gonna do what I said I was gonna do and just kind of freeball it. If the pen would work. Oh, I forgot about doing an actual code. Ah, my playlist is over. Looks like it's Digital Circus Lo-Fi time. Lower that a bit. I don't know if I'm just following the wrong YouTube Shorts channels, but I feel like every time I hear anything about Glitch Studios, it's something bad. It's too bad. I feel like it's not wholly their fault for all the scrutiny that they fall under. And I guess it's kind of the double-edged sword of, like, becoming popular and successful. Is you have more eyes and more scrutiny placed upon you. So, I mean, you know, good that they've gone so far beyond their original indie start, but, well, I don't know. I don't honestly know how much you could classify them as like being indie or not, since well, like they're definitely no major corporation, so I think they're gonna be indie forever. Like they would need to obtain insane popularity to no longer be considered indie. But I feel like people don't think that. Like as soon as you've gotten any modicum of popularity, people are like, "Oh, you're not indie anymore. Actually, you're actually way too popular, and you're just like Taylor Swift, and you're like a real billionaire." And it's like, I don't know about that quite yet, but hello. Hmm. I feel like this should have moved up a little more. Let's just push that up a little. "'Tis the curl of the monkey's paw that gives them popularity, but also the fandom." I'm just excited that it seems like they're gonna start doing some more murder drones things. I mean, it's possible that they're maybe just picking up on plans that they had when Murder Drones reached its conclusion. Maybe they were gonna do some more comic. Well, they did release a comic, but maybe they had more plans for episodes that they just couldn't do because Digital Circus and other shows took priority at the moment. And now they're just kind of picking up on that backlog. That would be my guess for why they're doing those things now. I don't mind. I think Murder Drones was the thing that got me into Glitch Studios in the first place, so I am excited. Might have to do a little rewatch of the series at some point. It is a banger. I feel like that's a little much yellow. Just lighten that up a little. Okay. Pretty decent, I think. Okay. I think that is pretty good. I honestly, yeah, maybe you would see a little bit of the glow. Let's put just a little bit in there. The glow. Do a little bit of orange. If my pen will register. Ugh. God. The eternal suffering. God damn it. Do some swirlies in there. Okay. I guess that's good. Cool. Shall we see how that looks? Ooh, I think that looks pretty good. Yeah. Cool. All right. I do think some tiny little stars throughout the main body would fit with the like central star. I'm probably gonna try to be a little more... I do want the star to be pretty consistent. Also, I kind of want to do... I want to do this rough brush because I feel like it'll tie in a little bit to the chalk material that they use to draw the character in the first place. Let's see. How can we make this consistent? Because I don't think it's going to show up on the onion skin. I believe it makes every fill color the same thing. It need to be like that. I mean, we could just make it on its own layer. You know, that way I can onion skin it and move it around, make it look correct. Yeah, I probably should. Although we could make it a part of the line art. But then... would it end up overlapping? Yeah, a little bit. Okay, just here. For now, we'll maybe make it on its own layer. Let me just start by doing the schnoz and the eyes on everyone. Actually, I should do that. There we go. And then I want to change the line art color since it's probably going to affect, you know, how exactly I render the star once the whole line art is like the exact same color. Of course, I could make it a slightly different color. Maybe I should actually. We could do like should we do a yellow? Probably a yellow. I'm inclined to do blue, but I think I'm just thinking that because like this dark blue with a colored line art is very Princess Luna core, so we'll do probably a yellow. Oh, that is very bright. Oh, that's not the worst. Why do I have another layer here? Should it be darker? I almost feel like this is like kind of grayish. But like I don't want to go too off model. I mean, I can clarify that in the attack, that I've done a little bit of artistic interpretation. The white did definitely push him out from the background a little bit better. It's just they almost don't look like they almost don't look like they're in the same world as the other characters, the problem. I'm gonna do the white one. If only for visual clarity against the background. Then maybe I'll do some of those other colors for the stars. And what kind of star do they have? 4 points and some bits on the side. Okay. We'll just do a couple little spatterings of stars. And yeah, I kind of want it to look like the star is kind of glowing. Or like pulsating, I guess. I think that's one of them. One more. Mm-hmm. Kind of made this off-centered. Oops. Oh well. I think it's okay if this looks a little bit rough. It'll lean into the style of the jock and all. Mm. Now, how do I do this without it butting into the legs? Because I feel like that's going to look a little weird. I guess I could just erase them. Oh, I don't think you're going to see that down there. That's fine. Pen blaze. The roughness of this is truly being benefited by the lack of an ability to use my pen correctly. We can just pretend it's part of the style. Alright, there we go. Now I just gotta do a couple little stars. Yay! I think that looks pretty good. I just gotta color the flower, obviously, with a regular line. Suppose I should do the same line art color I choose for this guy, which will need to be a little bit purple to fit the flowers that they're holding. So we'll do it based on this one. Maybe a little bit reddish. I guess a little bit grayish. Yeah. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Fill, fill, fill. And you. And the dog. Just this one line. Oh, I did not think about how this is going to look on here. Probably invisible. Yeah. It's fine. I mean, you can see it cutting through the front of the line, so that's all right. I think it's visible enough. Yeah. And then the flower. Oh, the flower is behind the skelly. Probably don't want that. When did that happen? Up you go. There we go. I think that's right. Yeah, there we go. Good, good. I guess we can do the flowers now, or did I say I was going to do them after? Probably after. Okay. Now I gotta figure out how to do the flowers. I surely have a brush that could make a bunch of wildflowers. The only thing is, like, doing a jitter animation with that is gonna be kind of weird looking, I think. Because, like, the randomness of the brush is basically just gonna make it look like an entirely different set of flowers, which, like, that might look okay, or it might look very strange. Let's just try it out. I guess I'll put it on the line there, maybe? Oh yeah, and I was gonna do another one. Where are we? Here we are. So instead of 3, we'll do, I think, 4. Let's see, 24, show 6, I think. I think that's 12. 6. Oh. There we go. And one more. Oops. That one. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, cool. Just remove that bottom half for now. The leaves might be a little bit easier to do with the brush, because I think it mostly makes very solid shapes. And, if doing the jitter animation with the plant brushes that I have doesn't work, my other solution is I could do a jitter animation, on these 4 frames with kind of like a more solid shape to make up most of the mass of the flowers. Because, like, this is primarily serving the purpose of covering up everything down here. So, like, covering up the bottom of the characters so we don't have to see them, particularly this dog, as they move out of frame. So we could do that, and then on top of that have some, like, actually correctly drawn flowers that bob in the wind. That might honestly just look better, but we're gonna try this first because it will be less work. And that is what you always need to prioritize in everything. Work smart, not hard. So what do we have here? These are like for ground. I guess this kind of works on the top. Here, let me pick a color you can see. Oh, this is a blend thing. No, it's just picking the second color. Okay. So why don't I remove the characters? Just there we go. Make it easier to look at this. Why does my sky look like... Oh yeah, this is the halo. Okay. There's this. I think most of the flower brushes I have are made for, like, looking at flowers on the ground. But this could also work if we made... In fact, actually, what I was doing with the sky, the cloud brush, actually looked kind of alright. We could do something like this. We do it again, and then like again, for like layers. And then some of this on top in a smaller scale. Boop, boop, boop. Something like that, I guess. That's pretty simple. That's easily replicable. I just don't know if it very much looks like flowers. It is simple, though. Hmm. Hmm. Maybe. I think I'd need, like, these tops would be the color of the flower, but then I would need something for, like, the lines of the stalks in here, too. Hmm. What else do we have? Apparently this has color variation, but I don't really see that happening. Maybe because it's on the purple. Or do I need to be drawing this with a pen? Ah, I do. It's a pretty big spread. And very uniform. I want them to be more randomly rotated. Yeah, these look a little too sharp. And they're too small right now to really look like flowers. Oh, interesting. Dandelions. Well, that just makes a pretty opaque cloud of balls. I don't know about that. Meh. Ooh, bush brush. Very nice. Could be good for the leaves. Ooh, okay, these are proper flowers. Very thick. Snake. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely am more inclined towards like very vague shapes. Bean. Because I think I mean, like, obviously I'm using brushes, but I don't really like when it's obvious that you've used a brush in a piece. Oh, I kind of like that. That could be decent. Interesting. Maybe. Got some stalks and plants. I don't really understand the point of having the color jitter in between the main, like the first and second color, when I can't really tell the difference. Maybe it's just because the colors I picked are very similar. Okay, these two together could look pretty decent. What's the direction I need to draw? Why are they sideways? Oh, angle 90. There we go. Oh my gosh, it's Kinger. Yay. I think. Kind of lost on what all these voice lines are. I feel like it's just a... Oh wait, I think I looked this up for some reason. My sister was curious about it. I think the trend of lo-fi having like, you know, random little audio bits and like the sound of a glass clinking and stuff is because like the definition of lo-fi is that it's low. What's the fi stand for? Surely not fidelity. Low, I forget the word. Hold on. I'm gonna look it up. Because something about it is that it's like, it's less professional, I think is what lo-fi stands for. Or what it means. Why is the first thing I see when I go to, and this isn't Google, I use DuckDuckGo, but the first question is, what does 6.7 mean? What does lo-fi mean? Oh, it is low fidelity. Wow. Yeah, okay. In which elements usually regarded as imperfections in the context of a recording are present, sometimes as deliberate stylistic choices. So, you know, if you hear someone like coughing, but like, you know, when you have these little dialogue bits, I think that's part of why there's so many of those things in lo-fi music. Fun fact. Okay, I don't hate this one either. It's kind of fun. It is a little big. I have to definitely make this smaller. Okay, so we could use a combination of, oh god, how am I going to remember these? Wildflower 1, 10. I think I used 1. Scattered? No. Scattered 2? Yeah, maybe. Or was this the one that I said was too sharp? Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay. Scattered 3. And then Wildflowers 1 and 10. Don't really care for that. Don't like that shape. Don't like that. Wow, there's so damn many. Oh, when you draw lighter, the color changes. Okay, see, I don't get that, because that also controls the size of the pen. I guess maybe it's so that, like, I don't know, like, if you're drawing something further away, then it would look, you would pick, like, a fainter color for that. Oh, I like this one a lot. Oh, wait, yes, we finally have some, like, dimension happening. Like, there's other directions to the flowers. I need more, like, can I flip? Adjust by speed. Change brush tip color. Okay. We can turn that off. Well, for now, I'll leave it. I do kind of like the randomness just to, you know, add more variation in there. Okay, I like Wildflowers 8 a lot as well. Definitely not going to remember. Tree line. Fill. I'm just going to write it down. So, I liked Scattered 3. Oh my god, bro, my pen. My pen is dying. Scattered 3. Wildflowers 1 and 10. And 9? 8? I think it was 8. Yeah. And 8. Lovely. All right, so we'll start with this, because I think that looks pretty nice. Eh. I think, what color should we pick for this first little bit? I guess it'll get more blue as it goes back, which is, yeah, that's fine. It'll get more opaque because I'll be doing more layers on top, I suppose. Or I could just lower transparency. Maybe. I probably should just do that. And I don't know, we'll start with maybe this bluish color? Or I should just do the purple. Start with blue, maybe. Is that a good height? Because this does have to get completely opaque by the end. Like by the bottom. So that should work. Then let me raise opacity. Maybe we switch to the purple. And then make sure it's fully opaque at the bottom. Okay. Ooh, that looks cool with the onions getting on. I probably should leave it on, but let's see. Okay, now turn that off. Just needed a little bit of a reference. Meh. See, it's that lo-fi element. Oh, I really thought that was Gangle speaking. Goofy lo-fi element. Eventually I mean, it is sort of the what is it, paradox of trying to make anything that is intentionally trying to sound intentional is eventually it just fails to do that. It loses the irony, I guess. Boop, boop, boop. Then it just sounds a little silly because they're trying so hard. Or I'm just a hater, I don't know. I might also just be a little sick of lo-fi. That is the de facto music we would play where I used to work. We just need something to fill the silence, you know? And it's nice sometimes, you know, I got a good few lo-fi playlists I enjoy, but sometimes it just becomes a little grating. Okay. Interesting. Let's see what that looks like. As with a little bit of jittering. Boop. Definitely needs more. Well, the second two are like way more cloudy. Or like shapely, I guess. Bruh. Okay, I need to change this playlist. Nope. No more. Let's do some Caravan Palace. Okay. Make these less rotund. Alright, I just need to make sure that the bottoms of these are completely opaque. Actually, this might be a good texture for the leaves if this looks alright. Okay. It's kind of giving water more than it is flowers, but maybe it'll, you know, kind of give the implication of a windy day. Alright, let's do the actual flowers next. It was 8. And what color is the darker one? I think this one. Alright, let's make it like really dark. Let's see. Okay, I don't have opacity off, it's just like that, I guess. Where do we want to put these? Probably up here, since they're sort of, well, actually, I guess they go anywhere. This is like a side view of the flowers. Yeah, my concern is doing this on each layer. Like, I'm really gonna have to be hard-pressed to mimic, like, where I've drawn these flowers already. Some littler ones here. Because if I can't mimic this, then I maybe will... Well, I guess I'll have to do what I said before. So, having, like, kind of a math in the background, and then intentionally animating some flowers on another layer. But we'll see how this looks. Yeah, it really does look like a shifting ocean. But maybe that looks cool. I don't know. We'll see. I have my doubts. I don't know if it's gonna look right. Usually jittering does not look as good as I want it to. And more. I don't think this is my favorite Caravan Palace album. I'm pretty sure I have another. We're currently listening to my playlist of good playlists. So there's another one somewhere in here. Probably one of my favorites. It's just like, I imagine just the oldest one that I listen to. For nostalgic purposes, you know. Okay. That looks kind of fun. How does it look? Definitely needs some dimension, I think, with some lighter colors of flowers towards the front, maybe? Or like the tops, sort of. I don't hate it. Let's see what it looks like with the others. Oh, I forgot there was a line layer. At this one? I think. Is that the purple color I did for the line art? Dude. Yes, it was. Okay. I think I don't know. I definitely need some green. It's like it's giving cloud more than it is flowers right now. Also, it does cover up quite a bit of the characters at this height. So definitely need to make it more opaque. Could just try layering some stuff and then probably moving it down. Well, let's get some green in there. Is there like a stalk? Oh, there's a stalk. Hmm. Yeah, it might not be the worst. Not sure. Definitely need to probably just start by putting in some green in here. Gonna have to cover up these flowers you've done so far, I think. Also, I guess I am gonna have to leave it at this height. Because this way it covers everything. Or I could try like squishing it a little bit. Like that. Let's try that. Maybe. Yeah, it's a little better. And let me try the stalk. Okay, I actually don't hate this as a actual like stock for a plant brush. It's pretty nice. Yet again, I am questioning whether I'm actually drawing these lines or if it's just like that transparent that I can't tell. Come on. Yeah, but I don't know if it's like just me, but I don't often differentiate music by the album. I don't even think I really care a whole lot about artists in particular. Is usually just a case of, oh, YouTube recommended me this song. I like it. Okay, cool. And then I don't ever go to inquire about like other songs made by the artist. I listen to the one. It sounds nice. Perhaps only exception would be like, oh, there's like, I really like Lemon Demon. There was one whole album I listened to as a kid in high school. Listened to that one at great length. But yeah, and genre as well. Like, I think I'm just not informed enough about different types of music to know what I like in that way. So, some artists I like a lot: Eve and Lemon Demon and Caravan Palace, all pretty damn good. But generally, I just don't remember. Don't know enough. There could be like a little more variation in the size of these. Oh, I just wish this would register properly. Okay, I think that's all right. Time to layer some more flowers. What did we have? Scattered 3, and then wildflowers 1 and 10. Scattered 3. Is this another blendy one? Yes. Okay. This one. I guess let's start with the purple again. Oh, and then I should also probably put more of those other ones on top. The 8. It looks like they're actually on top of the stalks we just drew. Yeah, sometimes they, randomly turn into something nice. But I think that's the big drawback of using brushes is, you're not really fully in control of how they look. Which sometimes that's good when you need a bit of just like randomness in a piece. I think it's great for natural things, ironically, using a set brush. But then sometimes it gets too repetitive and it becomes very obvious that you've used a brush and it sort of throws off the whole thing. But for this kind of thing where I don't want to have to animate 1 million flowers, I will, make the sacrifice. And maybe let's try some lighter colors in here. Should we do scattered again, or what was it, 1 and 10? Those look nice. Although, is there any... Well, apparently there's color variation in this. think doing like, yeah, pushing really hard to get like a dark color and then doing a little bit of the lighter bits on top. That makes a nice little layering effect. And then maybe I'll just do some tiny flowers, but like in a much darker color. Yeah. Oh, or I should do that for the blue. We'll do it for both. Should maybe have done the stock before all these, but honestly, this is turning into such a big blended mess, I don't really think it'll make much of a difference. Yeah, that looks nice, I think. Okay, now we gotta do that for all the other 3 frames. Just try not to think about it too much, and it'll all come together, I'm sure. Fall in love with me. Okay, and then we did light pink. And then did I do dark? I did, okay. Did a couple dark shades underneath. And now the light colors. You know, I think the other thing that's really drawing me in so far to Witch Hat is it is very much a story about art and, you know, using art to just do cool shit. Like having their entire magic system just be you get to draw is pretty peak like art child fantasy world. Also, it's like so refreshing. I don't know. Well, not refreshing. It's very cute. I don't know if this is a common trend for mangas because I mean, I don't think I've ever read a single manga before this. I don't think. Uh, but like in between various chapters, they will have like basically invitations to go and draw stuff. Like make your own sigil. Here's the like rules to make it fit into the world of Witch Hat, and here's how to draw your own like official witch hat. And it's just like that's very cute and charming. I feel like part of that is maybe why Witch Hat has cultivated such a community that's like very willing to make art that fits into the world. I'm specifically referring to what was it? It's like a meme post about how all the like custom sigils that people draw, they fall into one of two categories. It is either here's what I think a toaster would be with, you know, magic in the world of Witch Hat, and this is why magic is a trade secret, and it's like someone's created the black hole generator. But that's just a really cool community to cultivate. Full of people who want to draw stuff. It's very fun. All right, I think that looks very pretty for having been made with just a bunch of preset brushes. Does it look okay in the animation? Hmm. Hmm. There's this one flower, and it carries over almost, but then it disappears. I almost want to make it exist. Is there a way I can make this brush look right? It's 8, right? Yeah. This color. And this color. Yeah. So we need to draw it on this stem, like a little bit smaller. Maybe like that. It's just I can't rotate it. And then, like, where does it go? I guess it's this. Maybe like that. That's okay. Okay. I'm content with that. It's just that was like the one part that was kind of bugging me. I think that looks sort of cute. Okay, cool. Let me do perhaps a similar thing. I really liked how the cloud brush worked for kind of pushing things back into the atmosphere. I guess that might not be totally necessary for the leaves, because, like, we're not going into the atmosphere indefinitely for these. They're probably pretty close to the camera. But let me start with the tree branches. I wanted them to be up there. I was gonna wonder if I probably do have a brush that makes like an approximation of tree branches, but I'll probably just freeball this one. I mean, tree branches are very nice because they're just completely fucking random, sort of. And you can be as wobbly as you want. Okay, well that sort of looks like shit, but how do we need to make it look? It's like that. This will be 2 recent animated art fights I've done with some tree branches. Very incorrect looking. It's not supposed to be like this, I don't think. Maybe like that. Don't really mind if this looks kind of rough. Not really the focal point. Not to mention, I kind of just want to get this done already. Would rather not have to spend another entire stream finishing this lad. Especially because this is a revenge after all. Bro, or, you know, the person who made that first attack against me probably just thinks I'm not even doing a revenge, I swear. Damn, I'm just really slow at it sometimes. It will get done eventually, I swear. And I did specifically want to do the flowers because I figured it would be more taxing than doing the leaves, so, you know, we're in the home stretch now. Hide that for now. This might be a little big. Like up there, maybe. I could animate these, actually. Yeah, actually, I could. I mean, they're now extending past the border a little bit. Guess I'll leave it there for now. One moment. That could be a little less knobbly. Okay. Then we'll nudge you a little bit over. Cool. Can do a little bit of animation there, I think. Oh, right. Right, this was not animated in the first place, of course. Right. Well, I could put it on this layer. Because I think the leaves will be where, like, it'll all be solid, so that'll be on one layer. I think. Yeah, probably. Oh, but then I need to do, right, I would need to fill the tree branches. Oh, I kind of want to animate them though. Oh, I want to animate everything, even though I know how much I will suffer because of these desires. Branch one. Okay, and we're just gonna do 4 frames. Where do these need to go? Here. And we'll do a little bit of waving motion for these guys. Oh. Okay, wait, that is a little bit annoying. I can't grab these individually. Shit. Oh, that's kind of stupid. I guess I could have if they were objects. I don't really know how to do that, though. Although, can't you? Well, yeah, I'd have to split these. Dang it. Okay, well, I'm just gonna extend the line of these then to fit, or, you know, so that they're not disconnected from the edge. It's fine. Also, yeah, these are the ones I left. That dog is very mango colored. I like that. Okay. We'll start with this frame. And we'll just do a subtle little motion. Um, and then I guess number 4 might just be 1. Or no, 2. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that looks fine. I don't need you. And let's connect those lines. Luckily, I don't really have to care that much about how these look. Or, you know, how consistently they match up with the previous frame. They are right on the edges. So you don't really notice them much. Okay, nice. Let me do that, and let's make some new cells. Yeah. What color? Dark, I guess. We'll do it like a grayish purple for now. Should probably put some amount of work into the texturing of the branches, but they're definitely the thing I care less about. You know, the leaves will probably be, you know, more texturally interesting, so. Oh god, my broken pen. Please work. I need to fill in the little corners and things. Oh man, this really did not fill in the edges at all. I might not have set overflow to the right amount. Whoops. It's alright. Yeah, I should really stop procrastinating and just look up if I can get my pen sent into Wacom to get them repaired. Because my god, it's annoying. And it's weird, like, I have my pen just flipped upside down, and it is, I guess, working more consistently than when I hold it the normal way. Ugh. So annoying. But you know, I am stubborn. And until things are, like, completely falling apart and broken in my hands, I am reluctant to pay money or disrupt my routine to get something repaired. Bro, I think Caravan Palace just released a music video for this, and it is as strange as all of the other Caravan Palace music videos are. Cool animation though. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop putting in this much effort because you are not gonna be able to tell that these pixels are here with the leaves behind it, because it'll be a slightly less like light color. I think the sky makes it kind of obvious that there's holes in between, but you're not really going to be able to tell. So we're just doing the corners, contenting myself with that, even though the perfectionist in me would like to make everything very clean. Sort of a waste of time. Should probably also make these darker. I might hide the color of the branches to start, because I want to do the leaves first. And just, you know, render them how I'm gonna. And then I will adjust the color of the branches so that they have enough contrast with the leaves. But for now, I think they'll be a bit of a distraction, so. Lucky. Very nice, away with you. Leaf time. And I guess I don't need these actually, because yeah, they're all gonna be on one layer. Goodbye. Cool. And my leaves. These clouds are very bright yellow. I should probably adjust maybe down here and then up there. We'll do that in a sec. And by a sec, I mean probably the 20 minutes it's going to take me to do the leaves. Okay, cloud texture, perhaps? I liked that a lot. Yeah, we gotta still... Now, the only thing is the cloud, it only gets this funny kind of overlay outline on the top half. So we're not going to see that down there, but we can kind of get some interesting kind of patterns down here. Sort of interesting. Now I do have a go-to, what's it? Tree leaf pattern brush. How does this look erased? Oh, okay, here we get the line. Right. Because it's on the top half now. Okay. There's a way to get around that. And I guess we can actually, like, cut some spaces out of the leaves. This is just making a lot of texture, though. Do I like that? I don't know if I like that. I think I will maybe use a different brush for that. I do want these to look pretty faint. That they're kind of fading into the sky. Because I think otherwise they're gonna distract a little too much from everything else below. Like no good way to get rid of that line once it's existing. That works, I guess. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Don't really notice it until you get close. Oh, my beautiful clouds are covered up though. Dang, I really liked that one section. 'Tis gone now. Oh. Well, I guess it's whatever. I could try cutting some holes out of the leaves. Let's see, is that the darker? No, this is the darker color. Alright, why don't we layer in some dark colors and I'll try cutting out some shapes. Which was the one I would use? I think it's in the jungle now. Well, these are some of the other leaves we have. Very sharp. Wasn't this one? Probably this one then. Nope, it's Undertale time. Ooh, that's an interesting shape. Oh, of course it pulls from the other side. Oh yeah, that's like a proper leaf. Maybe we switch to that. But I kind of liked how cloudy they were looking here. Maybe we can do a blend. Do the cloudy stuff on the end so they sort of blend away into the sky, but then put some texture in between. Oh, I'll play this as if. Oh. Stargazing with your comfort character. Okay. That works too. Where is the leaf thing? Oh wait, that looks so much better. Very round leaves. I like that. Maybe I should put some blue in here as well. Or the edges. Where would the light be coming out here? I guess in the middle. I fear I might be putting in too much work for something that I'm going to have to animate on multiple frames. But that will be a future seer problem. For now, we're just having fun. And then cut to me suffering in the next 15 minutes. Hmm. Okay, well, I do like how that looks. Hmm. Maybe we should just like, should I not jitter this? We could just grab it and rotate it. But I kind of do like how that's turning out down there. Okay, let's try to jitter animation it. Where am I right now? Down here. Loud. Oh wait, I think I used this one. Keep roughly the same shape. And then by drawing it different, you know, every time, it'll give it a little bit of variation. Try to do it kind of quickly. And then, you. Right? Was it this one? No, could have been that one. Did I click off of it? This is, or did I make it the wrong size? Maybe I just made it the wrong size. Yeah, I guess I did. Correct. Maybe this is the brush I was on, right? It looks pretty similar. I think so. Eh. We'll do a bit of the light color. And then we shall erase. Oh, intriguing. You know, this really makes me want to. Well, I don't want to, but it would look good if I also painted the sky. You know, every 4 frames. Just saying. Tis an option, I guess. Is it an option I would like to do? Not necessarily. But it would look good. Just saying. The pasta song. I don't know why this song is very Italian to me. I guess it's just the instruments. Or wait, this is I don't know, maybe it's due to some meme I'm forgetting. Oops. Okay, well, note to self, I've clicked onto the wrong color or wrong brush. Sure, I'll remember it by the time I get back. This one, no, this one maybe? Oh, wait. Yeah, that looks right. Random bullshit go. Actually, I like how that looks. Don't really want to fuck with that. Then some erasure up here, and we're done. Unless I decide to do this guy, which I might. Alrighty. I guess let me fill in the branches. Yeah, I think there should definitely be a darker color. Well, maybe not too dark. Maybe this was good. Or maybe it just needs to be a bit bluish. So it kind of matches with the trees a little more. Yeah, maybe. Could do like a little bit of a rim light and... Oh, should I... I really don't want to have to copy these. Oh, but maybe I should. That was kind of why I wanted to keep the lighting for these simple, or the coloring simple, so I wouldn't have to like copy it over into these other frames. Well, let's start simple. Could do like a little blue rim light. Do like blue along all the edges. And then I'll do it like a lot darker. Maybe? Okay, well, how does that look? I guess I'm okay with the color of the branches. I do kind of feel like they should be textured. But like we put some texture work in other places. I think it's okay. I am liking the tree leaves, I think. And then I guess the sky, maybe the sky is okay. It's kind of nice to just have a simple backdrop with how much movement there is on all the other texture bits. Okay, well, then let me just tweak the shading on the clouds a little bit. And then we just got to do the color liner for the character and the flowers, and then we're done. It's looking good, chat. Okay. Where's the clouds? Back here. Oh yeah, I was using an actual cloud brush. Which one? Maybe this one? No. No. Oh, was it you? Might have been you. Definitely not that one. Was it this one? Oh, wait, maybe it was that one. It might have been. Actually, I don't think it was, but this is good for adding a bit more intentional texture. Or rather, for adding some thicker clouds. And let's lighten up the ground a little. Or I guess this would be the horizon. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better, a little bit glowier. In fact, we could even go further beyond. Really make that shit pop. Yeah. I'm like, we can go further beyond if I like put a halo on this character, but whatever. That's a bit much. All right, liner color. Just do like a purplish dark color. This is so simple. I'm not even gonna do a gradient, or like I'm not gonna use my blendy brush. We're just gonna solid color all of that. The flowers. I think I'll just color pick. Then we'll do some brushing on here. Come on. Mm. Then we'll do the green. Just want to color this one little bit in here. Yeah, okay. Very lovely. Oh, that definitely needs a liner color as well. Purple? Yeah, that's alright. Oh yeah, let me grab that. I can put it on the skelly line. Now, what color should I do for the hand of the skelly? Maybe not the same color. Darker and like a little purplier, I'm thinking. More purple. Yeah. Much purple. Okay, Pen, you're almost done with this drawing. Just need you to hold on for a little longer. Might do... Oh, whoops. My liner is not the same. That. I kind of like doing a darker color on parts that like are physically like further apart. Sort of how I differentiate where to color a particular thing, darker or lighter. Do I like the blend there? That's alright. I'm not actually sure, because this was completely solid. I'll leave it for now. I'm sure no one will know but me. Get rid of these. No, that probably shouldn't be recolored. Number 1. Is this also from the Digital Circus? I don't know, this playlist has had a lot of pop culture songs in it so far. Maybe. Or I am just too Digital Circus pilled, and I cannot recognize an existing song. Yeah, okay, I'm less convinced this is the Digital Circus, actually. This might just be a real-ass song. Whoops. Wait, is it? No, yeah, this is a real song. My bad. My bad. Okay, flowers here. Firstly, the dog. Might just do like a solid color in there. Alright, then flower. Alrighty. Ugh, I'm less and less convinced about leaving those trees as they are. Every time I see them. They're just like, they're too plain compared to the rest of this. Ugh. Oh, bother. Let me just make it, and then I'll transform it so that it looks good. Let's see, so I'm gonna grab this guy. We're gonna properly make a rim light on this. And then I'll probably do at least a little bit of like tree texturing. That would be a good brush to get. Because generally I don't really mind doing some grain in the wood. But this is going to be a little bit small, so it might be kind of tedious. But we'll do it by hand for now, and maybe before next stream, since apparently I'm drawing a lot of trees this Artfight. Maybe I'll look into getting some more nature-themed brushes and stuff. One thing I should look into is, like, how the hell do you make a brush? Like, there's some things I tend to do pretty commonly, like, maybe hair texturing. Or this kinda... blendy, swirly pattern that I'm doing right now. I use that a lot too for, things like trees, but I do a similar thing for how I render hair, so making that a brush could be helpful. But that also sounds a little complicated, so I don't know. It is also kind of nice to just, give it a hand-drawn touch, make everyone feel unique. Hmm. That looks a little funny. Hmm. I think that looks a little more correct. Sure, good enough. Try not to spend too much time on this. This is the last thing we need to do. And then after this piece, so I've been avoiding posting these art fights until the like bundle of them that I've kind of drawn together are finished, which mostly I did that because it means I have to post less times on Tumblr to get them all posted. But given that it's taking me this long, I probably should just post these two finished ones. Because, I'm delaying the time that these people can get their attacks. So I'll probably do that. But in this stream, I also kind of want to start on another art site, specifically the one for Shaded. So, yeah. I will do both of these things, I think. It would be very awesome if I could get Shadeds done this stream, especially if I made it sort of simple. I mean, the animation will be simple, but the everything else about it, maybe not. Although I think I was going to use a brush for the background, because it's like a cityscape. Oh, plus it'll just be like the silhouette of a city, so that might also just make it easy. IDK. We'll see, we'll see. I'll at least probably start at this stream, if nothing else. Okay, let me copy all this outside and we'll tweak them. So we need you transposed onto you. And hide all of this. Alright. Yeah, about that. Upwards, maybe? Yeah, there we go. Oh. New playlist. Okay, so there's that one. And here's this one. The vibes are very different on all of these playlists. I'm pretty bad at making playlists, so it's why I have a playlist of playlists that other people have made. And so subsequently, the order of the playlists in this playlist is just completely random. It's just in the order of which I added them, so the vibes are going to be different. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So 1 is normal, but this one and this one, I think, should be, yeah, 2 and 3. Off you go. Wah. Oh, wrong one. Okay. Why are you hidden? Hide that, unhide that, hide that. Okay, good. Mm, 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 mm. Cool. Okay. And we clean up and it's done. The it's done is drawing ever closer. We'll just do a little blendy on that, I think. Well, no, make it look nice. Okay. I don't think that's missing anything. Yeah, I guess that's fine. How helpful. Barely have to make any changes to that one. Oh, it's not perfect. Oh no, look at all these little... Might have been just because of how I rotated it. Not completely perfect. Blech. Oh, it's so horrible. So uneven. I cannot let that. That's too egregious. Mm. Mm-hmm. Eh, good enough, I guess. Beautiful, beautiful. Cool. Okay, now we are finally done. Only took forever. Yeah. Okay. Yay. Let us admire the beautiful scenery. I think the trees are right. Cute. Yeah. Well, that was a fun little exercise in seeing how many brushes I can put into one piece. I think I like the colors. I actually really like these two characters together. Like, I didn't color pick those yellows. Or they're not the same shade of yellow, but they are the same kind of like, they ended up looking kind of like the same orangey yellow hue. Yeah. Very nice together. So silly. And yeah, so I will be posting this attack and the one for Cuppo. Cup of something. The animated Mer attack with my character in it. Very slow. Okay, well, we've only been live for 3 hours. I think we can at least begin the attack for Shaded. Because that one's, like, pretty... Like, the sketch is all there. Let me go and find it. Where? Oh, I opened up a bunch of other crap. Alright, hold on. Gotta go digging. Ew. There we go. All done with that one. Shade. So yeah, I mean, the posing of this is pretty much set. Oh, we do have to look up what a gun looks like. Hmm. If that's US. Huh. I didn't think about this. Hold on. One moment. Well, surely this website called the Gun Zone will have what I need. Oh, goddamn AI generated things. They're all written the same. Where it, like, doesn't tell you the answer at the start. It just tells you, like, what influences the answer without telling you whether or not. Like, what is the answer, my guy? Okay, great. There's no universal yes or no. I need a yes or no. Okay, certain circumstances where it is not allowed. Click. Can always depend on Reddit at least. Sentences rarely stated. Okay, never mind this. This link does not work. Okay, apparently intention is the important thing. And also it seems like most of this is referring to like a real gun, which is not relevant. Yeah, I don't think this is relevant, so it shouldn't matter. Right, so we need a reference for that, and then, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much sketched out. Should I do... I'll maybe make it simple, because this is a revenge attack on one that I already spent, you know, I did put a lot of effort into the first attack I made against Shaded, and now I'm revenging, so, you know, I don't think this has to be the most elaborate piece in the world. I think it's a sniper rifle that they have. Well, actually, let me check. Where is your reference? This one. Well, let's grab these for now, why don't we? Oh, I guess this is animated as well, isn't it? Barely animated, but animated nonetheless. It is a tall piece. Let's do like 1400 maybe. This thing. Okay, yeah, looking vaguely snipery. I guess we'll just try to make it look like that. Okay, so more than that, I need a reference for how you hold a rifle with one hand like a badass. What does Google have? Not much. Mostly people holding it the way you're supposed to. I can probably eyeball that then. This is 1,000 wide. How big do we want this? Guess like there-ish. Maybe a little wider. Make them nice and centered, and then they're going to be moving up, so we'll leave a little bit of room up there. Yeah, that actually works out pretty well. Okay, then we need to do some perspective bullshit. Should we just start with the character? I guess I should start with, like, the ground, so that it's all in perspective. I don't know that there's gonna be... Well, maybe I should put more detail in this, like, building that they're sat on to correctly imply the perspective, which is... It's like we're looking up at them and also at the Dutch angle. So, yeah, you know me making things harder than it needs to be. Unnecessarily complicated is my middle name. Let's do like that color maybe. This will probably be a pretty dark piece. Ooh, actually, maybe I should probably try to make this color palette different enough from the last piece that I just made for shaded. Because it was also very, like, soft purple, soft light blue, dark purple, and then yellow pop color. So you should... I think we'll go more red for this overall palette. It looks good. We'll just start doing some of the background, I guess. I guess we could do the edge of the building. Also, I've just realized this leg does not make sense. It shouldn't be straight down. Okay, this needs a little more work. I see. Well, we'll work on that. We'll work on that. So let me just do a little... I guess we just need to make this parallel. It's like that, I think. Yeah, I think that's about parallel. I kind of want to cut off the building a little. I could cut it like there, maybe. Okay. And then... how much of perspective should we give this? This is like the rim of the building. I don't really know if that has a name. We're calling it the rim. We need like a layer below this where you can see the underside of the rim, I guess. And then this goes this way-ish. And then I need the parallel line as well. Like about there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Rooftop decorations. I'm gonna have to get like a brick texture. Oh my god, I should do like a window on the wall. Oh, I was really hoping to keep this all very vague and that would make this not take very long. Damn me, making things more complicated. Well, hold on. Do I have a brush that has, like, building details? I might actually. Hold on. Also, what is this OC called? Lebanon Point. Cool. 11 point. Okay, what kind of brushes we got in the building scene? I mean, there are windows in here. Wah, 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 wah. I need, like, probably more up-close details. Maybe I should just, like... Hold on. It's stock photo time. At least just for a reference. I needed, like, an apartment building. I just want the front of one. License free. These are very modern buildings. I want like a brick building. And I think I'll make this kind of decrepit. The world of this character seems kind of apocalyptic. Maybe this one? Can do that. Put it on there, and then I'll just sketch it out. Or trace over it for the windows. Like that, maybe? Would probably be a little bigger than this, but... Yeah, I kind of want more window, but like, to scale, I think the building would have to be bigger than this character by quite a bit. Okay, well, let's start with that. Then I'm not sure exactly how much of this detailing I want to include. Because that just seems like a lot of work. Let's see. Oh, I'm in the blue shade. Nope. Black. Give a little bit of texture or a little bit of dimension on that. But luckily a lot of these edges are already covered up, so I don't have to care very much. Maybe just do that. And then I'll add some probably beveling on the bricks. Oh yeah, and then this needs to be, probably need to be able to see under it. Although, maybe you wouldn't actually, if the camera is up here. I guess we'll do that. Like just barely you can see underneath these things that stick out. And now would you see the sides of these? Like barely this, I guess? Not really, though, if the camera is directly in front. Then we'll try that, I guess. Oof. Should I draw these by hand? Everything has had a very precise feeling so far. Yeah, I should probably use the brush. Or use the transform, or the shape tool, I mean. Okay, hold on. Just gonna give these a little bit of a bevel. And then when I'm gonna probably figure out some kind of like random brush texture to do the bricks. In fact, I could probably find a brick brush. But I'm not gonna do this by hand, even though it will look more, you know, it'll look more correct if I did it by hand, but it will also be so much harder. So I would like to not do that. We'll look for a brush. It seems to be pretty big. I guess because it's not perfect. Hey, I thought I made a new layer. Like that, I guess? Okay. Kinda don't want to do all of these little scallops. We'll just do... don't know. We'll do this main one, and then maybe just one before the window. I should make a new circle. I'm gonna politely ignore that these widths are very different because lazy. Sure. And then I'm not even really inclined to do that much on the window. I guess I'll hand draw this. This is already pretty wonky looking. I can try to match it up with how I've drawn the arch. These are all these kind of thinner bits. And I think I want to make the window cracked, but this little grate will have stayed there. I guess I will draw that here, maybe? Bit of shattered glass. Don't really know if glass would shatter like this, but I don't care. Ugh. Care much more about my pen being very disagreeable. Okay. And I guess if the camera was up here, well, okay, the camera would need to be lower to see up here. Which, I mean, that probably means you wouldn't see this at all. You would, in fact, see the top. No? Unless we put the camera, like, all the way down here, which, yeah, maybe it should be all the way down there, then. Oh, I don't know. I really can't be bothered to care too much. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I want there to be some dimension to this. And I feel like these aren't far enough apart that you wouldn't be able to see under this one, too. I kind of don't like how this playlist transitions in between the songs. I don't know if that's a widely held opinion, but I much prefer when you well, I either want the transitions between the song to be like they've intentionally remixed the song a bit, lengthened it, and used some of the elements from the previous song to blend very gratefully, maybe gracefully into the next song. Or I would just prefer if the song, let it finish completely on the song and then we can go to the next one. I don't like when you can hear the previous bits of the end of the previous song. That just feels chaotic. Also, my pen is really, really trying to die here. So we'll say you could see inside there, which means... Oh, this is gonna suck. Okay, the glass, I think, would need to be here. Ugh. If my pen would work. The glass would cut off there. I guess. And then you could maybe see underneath, perhaps? Oh my god, dude, the pen. Ugh. Okay, this might have to be the thing that cuts the stream short. I do want to work on those. I swear I do, but I am also... The crash out levels are rising very rapidly. Okay, well, so you can see a little bit of the bottom. Hide you. We'll do some kind of brick texturing. Yeah, that looks okay. For the rest of the roof, I mean, the only thing I'm thinking of is What's that thing that's on roofs? The like ventilator square thing. I can only think of it in Minecraft where you build it with like 4 rails on top of it to make like a fan. Does Unsplash have any pictures of this? Weirdly, there's a lot of pictures of people redoing their roof on Unsplash. Why is that public domain? Whoa, that's a crazy rooftop. Oh, that's so cool looking. Look at this one. So much like graffiti. And yet none of the fan box thingies on here. Strange. Okay, and then there's a bunch of rooftop bars. Very fascinating. Well, I guess we could just leave it. Oh, there's also those, like, fan... It's a different type of fan. It's like it's rotated. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. I mean, we could just make, like, a vague shape, you know, and it'd be far enough in the background that you don't really care what the hell it is. Hmm. Yeah, I kind of don't care that much. Make some vague geometric shapes in there. Like, I kind of want to do a grate, or not a grate, chain link fence. That could be kind of cool. But I don't know if that would fit. Like, perspective-wise, I'm not really sure how big it'd have to be. Because I definitely don't want it to distract from the character. So we'll probably do the character first and then see. Let's see. So this will be building line 1. Building line 2. Just because I want to keep them separate in case I want to add more gubbins to it. Maybe I'll do like some graffiti or something. That could be fun. Maybe. That's putting a lot more work into this than I should really be considering. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to toss in. Probably not going to do this thing. We could. This might be unnecessary, though. It is kind of free, though, to make a quick little skyline. Let's see. Boop. Rotate. Let's see. Because you can also see some of these colors in here, which I don't honestly want. This probably needs to be a lot more uniform. I want to start customizing the brush design. It looks okay. Hmm. Oh yeah, you won't even see that. Okay. Just want some random bits sticking out. Give it a little customization. And also to kind of give to that vibe of a decrepit wasteland. Okay. Yeah, that works well enough, I think. Cool. Label that guy. Lovely. And I believe the only thing animated probably will be this guy moving up and down. Is there anything else we could animate on this? I mean, this is glowy. We could make it do a little pulsating. It's kind of the only thing I can think of. So, how would I do that? Um, I guess I could just do like an overlay. Or, actually, how did I do it on the capo? It was like kind of involved. Well, we could just do one layer on top that's like around here. Would be the easiest way. And then I wouldn't really have to change much about the drawing underneath. So, now the other thing I could do is I could make their leg swinging. Because that's kind of some instinctual, or that's kind of the first thing I think of for animating someone sitting. But figuring out how to animate that at this angle, oh, that's a bit tough. Maybe I should get a reference, though. If I could get a reference, then maybe. Maybe. Big maybe, but yeah. Okay, I will consider it. But that's gonna have to, I think, be an off-stream thing. For getting the reference and then making it all look nice. Okay, maybe time to cut off stream then, just because, I don't know. Maybe my pen will recover. It just needs a little break, maybe, that's all. Surely. Although, right, it's the 23rd now. Let me quickly just confirm that no one has attacked me while I wasn't looking. Who is this person? Sure, bro. Mama. Oh no, someone did attack me. I think it was a revenge. Shit. Well, that's not good. I mean, it is good. I'm glad. I'm happy, but that means I feel obliged to revenge. Ah! Okay, wait, look. Oh. They look so cool. Ah, they did the colors really well. Fuck yeah. Good art. Good art by Moon. Beautiful. Okay, well, that's a banger. Did I have other OCs of theirs that I could draw? Marked down. I think I did, but I had their pair. Yeah, these two together. Shit. Okay, that'd be a pretty involved drawing. We have one more, I think. Yeah, next week is the last stream for art fighting. Let me put these two in there so I can be reminded of what I need to do. I'm gonna keep plucking away at this guy. Did my playlist end? No, it did. Well, good time to end, I guess. I'm gonna keep plucking away at shades and get a reference for that. But we did at least get to, well, we got one, but finally finished this one, which I'm pretty happy about. Very nice and like pastel. I think it's a good I don't know. I've had very similar colored pieces so far, so I like how this stands out. Happy about that. I'm gonna post these two attacks. This one and then a couples. I'll see if I can finish Shadeds over the weekend. And so then next week the plan is at bare minimum I want to probably attack Fig again. But we could also leave room for doing Shadeds if I have yet to finish it. If I have finished it, then maybe we could also do the attack for that rando that I landed on here. Is it this one? Yeah, this one. The Obscured Digit. Which, that's a lot of characters, could be very elaborate. But, I would like to get perhaps one more attack in. So, that's the plan, I guess. Hopefully we can get this one done. Or hopefully I can get this one done off stream. But we'll see, we'll see. It might be pretty simple. I just want to get another attack pretty soon, because I bet you $1 that Shaded's going to try to revenge me again. So that might also throw another thing that I need to do next week in. A pretty good stream, I think. I'm very happy with how this turned out. Yet to have jitter animations turn out very nicely. And also, being able to do that through the use of a bunch of pre-made brushes was quite nice. I think it looks pretty cute. So, thanks for hanging out. And I will see y'all next week for the final Artfight stream of Artfight 2026. I've not even looked at the points. I cannot imagine Mystery's gonna win. I don't know why. I think Mystery's so cool. I thought it'd be like the cool special one that everyone would want to be in. But it's alright. It's not about the points. We'll see at the end. And it's been good fun. So I'll see y'all next week for that. Goodbye.